And with that, I present to you Night Watch.
Mass Effect. Link. But before we continue, do you notice what I'm wearing? This is the Shadiversity hoodie. And I think it's good that I'm wearing it next to Oz because look at how ragtag Oz is and look how great this hoodie is. Also, I've been meaning to ask, why the hell are you just making it mismatched?
Oh, because it's missing so many buttons.
You could still try.
It's too tight.
The top button is...
yeah, I have a big...
Why'd you start... Wait, but why did you start recording and immediately start shitting on the guy you chose to be on camera with? You guys have control over that. You can actually, in a pre-recorded video, you can edit and, like, also choose when you want to start filming. And it's really weird when in that context you immediately just turn to your co-host and say, man, you look like shit. I look great, but you look like absolute dog shit. Well, I've seen babies take prettier shits than you.
Neck.
You look like such a hobo.
Well, I haven't showered in 3 days. No.
So avoid looking like a hobo and grab...
I'm worried that he's not kidding. I'm worried that he's not kidding about not having showered in 3 days.
The official Shadiversity Brigandine hoodie, because they're really cool and really high quality. Check them out, link in the description. Welcome back to the watch, and time and time again, the patterns just keep emerging.
You're not allowed to have pattern recognition.
It seems like that. Not to your level. Your level gets a bit...
They call it schizophrenia, Shad.
Okay, thank you.
It's a real disease,
yeah.
But I'm right every time they're coming for me.
Once upon a time, I was saying, you're blind, you're making it up. You're like, why would video games be wanting to make their female characters ugly? And genuinely, like, then they'll say, if you think that these female characters are ugly, you are just a misogynistic bigot.
I guess I'm a misogynistic bigot.
Look at this. This is astounding. Now, we have seen examples upon examples of this. Like it was Mortal Kombat, Spider-Man and Mary Jane, Horizon Zero Dawn. They're doing it to Tomb Raider, and a lot of games that even...
I'm sorry. They're doing it to Tomb Raider? In what capacity? What? Is it because, like, she didn't have huge boobs in the 2018 movie? Is it because the remasters don't make her sexy enough? I've got really bad news for you, Shad. Lara Croft wasn't sexy in the original Tomb Raider. You were just really horny, and those gigantic polygons really did it for you, okay? But, I gotta be honest with you, most people don't see a pair of rhombuses and just get rock hard, okay? It's just not a thing that people are genuinely into. Like, I don't know how to break this to you. Also, can we just talk real quick? Can we just take a moment here as if like people aren't down bad for Aloy, okay? As if people aren't like absolutely obsessed. I just... Just real quick here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's an unspeakable amount of smutty art of this character. But sure, go off, King, about how she's not attractive enough.
Even aren't released, but like Forspoken and Mass Effect Andromeda. Remember all
And
the
Mass Effect Androgynous. Yep.
Yep.
But do you know what else they've done in Silent Hill? The new Silent Hill? Literally. Oh my goodness. There's an entire plot line where you have to attend a bisexual orgy. And it's necessary to the plot. And a black guy's like, you need to come to this orgy. It's important that you be there. And it's played up. It's played up as this important thing. Like, what?
Hey, did you know that, like, Silent Hill has the player do uncomfortable things because it's a psychological horror game and puts you in a variety of situations? Did you know that? Did you know that, like, James Sutherland in Silent Hill 2 was actually kind of a bad guy? Did you know that? Did you know that, like, it's a did you know that, like, hey, maybe these games aren't supposed to be really sexy? Hey, did you know that the sexiest character that Silent Hill is known for is fucking Pyramid Head? Did you know that? Because I know that, and I don't even like Silent Hill 2 that much. Like, my God, the amount of art of Pyramid Head is ridiculous. Just like, yeah, man. They changed how Maria looks in Silent Hill 2. Do you think Silent Hill fans give a fuck? This is what they give a fuck about. The big meaty triangle head man. That's who they give a fuck about. Also, to a lesser extent, the nurses with the wrapped faces. But, you know, mostly Pyramid Head.
What? It's on YouTube. It's hilarious and disgusting at the same time. This black guy's like, we need you to be there for this. Like, it's the most serious thing in the world. Like, what?
Why, just out of curiosity, why is it relevant, and why does he keep saying, this black guy? This black guy. This black guy wants you to go to the orgy. Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much. I'm just saying, that's a weird detail to keep saying.
What? And guess what? I'm pretty sure,
Simric,
if my
thank you
memory
for the
serves me
$5
correctly,
super chat.
the black dude is telling you, you need to be at this orgy. His daughter is attending for this ritual orgy thing.
Yeah, it's almost like Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill is a
All
series.
the women he named from those video games are hot in their newest releases though.
It's true. It's almost just, I'm just spitballing here. Almost as though it's a psychological horror game. And that the horror with which you are describing this event is actually the intended reaction for you to have. It's really not that difficult. Again, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. I think people who are really negligent in their ability to be artistically literate should have their ability to play games or watch movies or read books systematically taken away until they reach the level of material that they are capable of, competently processing in their brains. Like, did you know that the first Silent Hill game finds is about finding an abandoned child in a casket? How dare they take the Lord's name in vain like that? Had the sign of the cross on it. Like, the horror, it's crazy. Do they... It's hard for me to deal with this level of illiteracy, That relegates me to coloring outside the lines on coloring books. I'm sorry. Is DEI the new SJW? Kind of. Yeah, kind of. Sorry, this just bothers me a lot.
Look,
They're the heroes.
This is first news to me. If that is so, wow. I would want that type of thing confirmed.
I know it's the orgy thing,
Yeah.
but it's just so... It's played up like they're the heroes, and this is necessary for the story to progress.
So, Konami shared that, see how the team devs working on Silent Hill 2 preserved authenticity while adapting a horror classic for modern audiences. Modern audiences, people! Let's translate that to a woke audience.
Emphasis on trans.
To a woke audience. That's what modern audience means. When they say we need to make it for a modern audience, that says we need to make it in our image to our ultra woke progressive ideological lens, because
that resonates with more people and will make them more money. That's why. You are just correctly identifying that you are the out group and do not represent the mainstream of society. That's what you've identified. But instead of saying, maybe we should change or consider new ways of thinking, you've said, no, we need to embrace the ways people thought 400 years ago.
The actual modern audience, the audience that exists in the modern day, can't stand this crap.
Yep.
All right? It's a lie. The modern audience thing is a lie.
Yep.
Yeah, you're secretly the silent majority.
Go woke, go broke, 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 go woke, go broke.
And gamers are rejecting it. This is why Sweet Baby Inc. had such a big backlash. This is what Gamergate 2 was about. But they want to gaslight you. Say this is just where the world is. This is what people expect. That's what we need it for a modern audience. It is bullcrap. Let's listen to what they say here.
I'm very excited for people to play this game. There's no
guys, I've played Silent Hill 2, alright? Silent Hill 2 involves, people who've been, sexually abused as children. It involves, the main character being a pretty bad dude. The main character is not really a hero, per se. It is not a sexy game either. It's really not sexy. But the fact that they are wringing their hands about oh, do you know that you do something controversial in a Silent Hill game? Do you know that they did something edgy in a Silent Hill game? Did you know they're making characters less sexually attractive? Bro, did you even look at screenshots of Silent Hill 2 from back in the day?
one aspect that I could say that I want people to experience, because I want people to experience all of it. It's such a journey. It's such a big part of our lives, and I just want people to be able to see.
I want to experience. She's so desperate for people to experience this modern interpretation of a classic game.
Yeah, the game that she's been working on, which is a modern interpretation of a game that's been remastered and re-released several times. Yeah.
It's a workified game. They want to experience the changes.
Yes. You know the slippery slope fallacy, the slippery slope? I'm starting to think that maybe we just can't let women into anything. They have their stuff and we have ours.
I disagree and disavow everything Oz says, but I do think that women and men need their spaces.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make the game approachable. I think the biggest challenge that we've had was actually how to make the game approachable.
Because it wasn't approachable before?
How to make...
It's not. It's an extremely off-putting game, intentionally, because it's a psychological horror game. Yeah.
The horror game about literal hell and demons taking over a town, because I'm not sure exactly why, but it's literally hell and Satan and demons taking over a town. That needs to be approachable.
Yes, because they want to sell it, you dipshit. They're selling it. It's a product. That's their job.
Approachable for woke activists. And they will only approach something if it has their flags and their representation in it. That's the translation of what's actually being meant here.
But they don't, though. They don't approach it at all. They just talk on Twitter about it.
Or the activists will say, we love it, but then they don't buy it. Or maybe they could be such a tiny minority that they do buy it, but they're not an actual viable market to sell a game to.
That's what Arch says, yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. That's what Arch says too. Are they talking about Arch, the guy formerly known as Arch Warhammer, who got a cease and desist letter from Games Workshop because they didn't want him to call himself Warhammer anymore? Oh man, dude, you're getting marching orders from Arch. You're in trouble.
For the newcomers who have not played the original, but at the same
So the original is just not approachable at all. We need to change it to make it approachable.
Yeah, for new players. Yeah. Do you think that tank controls on the original Resident Evil are as approachable to like newcomers to the series as like a remapped control scheme would be on a modern controller. Like, yeah, you make changes to make it more approachable to a modern audience. Yeah.
Now it's like, no. If so, like the original game, if it was a good game, and I hear it's pretty good, haven't played it myself, but I hear it's
Oh, then shut the fuck up, man. How do you have this many opinions? How do you have a 16 minutes of opinions on this game that you haven't played yourself, and you're pausing like the breakdown trailer every 2 seconds because you're like, what do you think this means that they want more people to play their game? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me?
pretty good, right? That is approachable for people who like that style of game. You don't need to change it, right?
Especially since it's already a psychological horror with demonic and body horror and awful things happening and gore.
Yeah, and you haven't talked about the main thing it is, which is a fucking product. You know who made off-putting horror that was embraced by the market? That actually sold shit? Roger Corman. Roger Corman made like his entire career off of making low-budget, gory schlock. Okay? But he made it fucking approachable. That was his whole thing. He made it accessible. That's the trick. You can do both, but it takes skill to do both.
Well, that's why I haven't played it. I'm not a fan of the horror genre. Like, it would be retarded.
You both hate horror. Then why are you talking about this game, man? Neither of you know what you're talking about. This is actually incredible, dude. We both really hate horror, and we hate, like, the very fundamental concept of Silent Hill. But you know what we don't hate? Hot ladies that make our boners hard. And that's what we're really upset about. The hypothetical lady in a game we might want to play, but probably won't because we hate the very genre it's made in, and don't understand why people working on a remake of that game would want more people to play it. This is insane. This is like insane level of delusion and detachment from reality.
To try and change that game to make it approachable for someone like me who just does not like that genre.
Well, they might have a point. Gore, body horror, maybe they're right trying to
Stop it.
Same time to
What?
still retain the familiarity of the game that player remembers from 20 years ago.
You just adapt it, update the graphics, and keep it as the classic, you know, as it is.
He looks dead inside.
His eyes look a bit dead, don't they?
Did he fall into Silent Hill? Did it come for him?
Our goal from the very beginning was to maintain the game's atmosphere.
What? Oh, you mean that in the promotional material for the game, they might, I don't know, light it and shoot it in such a way that it would, you know, reinforce certain themes or visuals or aesthetics from the game that they're trying to advertise? You mean like there might be a consistent visual tone and language at play here in the advertisement in order to facilitate kind of the feel of the game despite not seeing direct gameplay footage when these people are talking? That's, man, that's crazy.
Atmosphere while modernizing the gameplay to make
Modernizing! He says the gameplay, but not just also the characters.
Yeah, you modernize the gameplay because the PlayStation 2 controller is a very different thing from the Xbox One controller of today. Like, they're different controllers. They can do different things. you have different hardware. You can do more. You can convey different elements of the story. You might, slip some new stuff in there. Like, hey, guess what, everybody? Wasn't it really fun when there was a secret ending in the very, very hardcore video game? Hey, you know what? Hey, chat. I hope you don't mind if I spoil one of the endings of a multi-ending game in a game that came out 20 years ago. Are you ready? Are you guys ready for one of the best endings? All right. Here you go. Here you go. What, man, yeah, it'd be a shame if they modernized this by putting in more endings like this. Can I explain this ending? The ending is that all of the misery that James Sutherland has gone through was being orchestrated by a dog in a secret alien control room. This is the actual ending, by the way. I think this guy ate like hot dogs at one point or something. It's just a comedy thing. It's whatever. It's fine. Is it the real ending though? No, there are multiple other endings.
Designs and
They're
modernizing it.
It's not just gameplay. Now it's gay play. Because
Well, if it has that orgy thing in it.
No, she's gonna prosecute the president of the.
Is that in the original?
literally Google. Actually, don't Google
No,
Silent Hill
I'm
orgy.
not going to Google
So
that.
I'll see if I can find the news thing on my phone.
Competitive in 2024.
In the remake, the story remains largely the same. However,
Also, like, people have different standards for gameplay. Like, people have learned how to use video game language in different ways. So you might have to update the terminology or the dialogue, or you might have to, in order to convey similar themes, you might actually have to use different words or methods to convey those things to a modern audience that doesn't have the same video game literacy as they did in 20 years ago.
with the magic of modern technology, we're able to expand on some of its aspects.
The hardest was designing combat. We want to be as faithful as possible to the original game.
I just don't believe it when they say we want to be as faithful as possible, when they change fundamental character designs and stuff like that. It's
Again, it just keeps coming back to, they made a lady that looked kind of hot 20 years ago look different. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Was this? Was this your wank off material? Oh God. There we go. This was really doing it for you 20 years ago. This is a character where you're like, oh man, they made her less hot. Like this is I and she looks like what now? Oh, she looks very similar. Huh. That's so weird. Or, maybe they're talking about Maria. That really off-putting, sexy lady. Yeah, this one. Was this really doing it for you? Was this like your whole thing? Were you like, boy, howdy. What a off-putting looking lady. Oh, wait, you mean actually that character design is also in? Oh, that's crazy. They updated her character design to be not in like just completely and utterly 90s ass. Like, I hate her outfit so much, guys. I hate it so much. This is a good update to it. This is actually really great. I like it. What is the difference at all even? They're trying to say that this lady is the redesign for this lady. So they're trying to say they turned this lady into this lady. But it's really just they gave her modern clothes.
No, you don't care about the original. And in fact, the original is problematic.
You don't either. You haven't played the game, you dipshit.
Because these characters are too sexy.
You might have that problem, viewers of Night's Watch watching our content, but we're not going to make ourselves uglier for you. Maybe I will. I'll break another couple of teeth. But other than that, no, we're staying
It'll just
sexy.
happen naturally over the course of time as we age.
Not you silver fox, bloody hell.
I know, look at this grey man.
You get closer and closer to bloody... What's not Professor Xavier? Who's the bendy guy?
I'm almost getting the salt and pepper look on the side.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm. And here is one of the examples of the modernizing. Before and after.
They added more polygons.
I'm sorry. Just real quick.
And here is one of the examples of the...
Here's one of the examples of the redesign. Uh-huh. You do know what, again, I just showed you guys what she looks like. Like, this is what she looks like in the game. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Crazy stuff, man.
The modernizing. Before and after.
They added more polygons.
I would ask him if I have the opportunity, what was wrong with her original design? There was something clearly so offensive and wrong with that design that they felt a need to change it.
She didn't look like a trans Latvian man.
That seems like it.
I just like, really, you guys are gooning. You're gooning over this character. This is the. I don't get it, man. Yeah, they did Angela so dirty with this update. Man, I miss the real Silent Hill 2. Look at how much better this design is from this one. It's like they're literally like an updated design. Like I don't know what to tell you here.
She doesn't look like a man enough.
Yeah.
Like that's. Grums has actually reported that one of the main reasons, not only I think a lot of this is like projection. They want to see, the creators want to see themselves in the game, right?
I genuinely, okay, I'm about to say something. I think that genuinely they just have no idea what they're talking about. They don't know that they're talking about this character. Like they just don't know anything. They're just going along with what everyone else in their social circle is saying. They're not actually thinking for themselves or coming to any conclusions about the material because they don't give a shit about any of it.
But also a big reason, Grum said, is that they are making the women look more like men to not offend trans people. Which is, to me, we've got a whole video reporting on, this is why they're making a character.
That is something only someone unburdened by intelligence. That's the only thing I can think of. You must be blessedly unburdened by intelligence in order to come by this type of opinion. Like they're trying to make characters ugly so trans people don't feel bad. Are you simple? Did you get like kicked by a horse as a child? Like, what happened to you? What's the deal?
Look like this, right? It's just bonkers to me because trans people don't want to appear obviously as...
I'm gonna stop you here. I'm gonna stop you here. Shadiversity. Maybe your first thought should be, that's bonkers to me. That doesn't sound right or true, and kind of sounds like it was made the fuck up. Like that's the reasonable conclusion. Like somebody tells you something crazy and you're like, huh, that sounds crazy and made up, and I don't believe you. Evidence? And I can tell you, Grums has exactly 0 evidence to back up that kind of claim. My God. Hey, Lord Frithus. Who mentioned trans people? Literally the guy who's leading Gamergate too.
As trans, they want to look like they pass as the opposite gender. That's their goal. And so when they say, like, we're going to purposely make the women look either androgynous or ambiguous or somewhere in between, that's them kind of, going so woke that they end up self-reporting on what they actually think about trans people.
I think at a more fundamental level, it's because they hate...
I just... Again, this is the character design he's talking about. This is the incredibly feminine, original character model that they were talking about. That has now been updated. This one, right here, this one. I have no words. Who's Grums? He's a moron who leads Gamergate too. He's been grifting off of it for the last several months. Should you want a conversation with a game professional, don't hesitate to give me a ring because these idiots make me very angry. They should, because everything they're saying is wrong. And I wrote about video games for a decade, and I can tell you that it's wrong. God. What was Gamergate 1? Oh, God. I'll tell you after this segment.
Aesthetics and beauty and good.
I think that's actually part of it as well.
Yeah, and also, yes, it turns out the way to combat the Silent Hill fog is to have a ton of sex, and that's...
Is that a new part in the game?
Silent Hill Ascension, yeah. The new.
So it wasn't in the original?
No, this is a DLC for a new Silent Hill. It's called Silent Hill Ascension. It's about a cult who wants to plan a giant orgy, and one of the main characters is a guy who feels conflicted about the cult wanting to run a train on him. This is real. And you can see that the
To be fair, Silent Hill Ascension does suck. But it's not for that reason.
the cutscene is on YouTube and it is very strange and disorientating.
Oh man, why does like...
Man, it's strange and disorienting, kind of like the kind of concept a psychological horror game might invoke to keep you off balance. Weird.
This woke movement just love degeneracy.
Because they hate good, they're a suicide...
Well, again, Mike B, literally the only thing that they care about in this game is that the girls aren't hot enough. They don't like horror games. They don't know anything about Silent Hill. None of them have played any of the Silent Hill games. And, like, the only thing they have to go on is, like, they changed character models from the original to this one. Like, that's it. It's literally the I don't want to fuck the women in this video game as much as I used to. And that's their main problem, except they don't even know enough about the originals to know whether or not their position on wanting to fuck them or not is a position, even.
Cult. They want to help end the world because they hate God and they want to force his hand.
Like, there seems to be a disdain for the wholesome traditional family.
Yes.
Yeah, typically horror movies aren't about the wholesome traditional family. I wonder why. I wonder why horror movies and games aren't about just everything being swell in a Leave It to Beaver kind of way.
Because truth is actually a beautiful thing. Like, look at mathematics. Everything we find beautiful because of mathematics.
No. One, that's not how beauty works. And two, you're talking about a psychological fucking horror game.
Right? Like, composition.
Also, Degeneracy is pretty Nazi-coded. These guys are, like, far-right guys. It would not surprise me if they were Nazis. They literally name-dropped Arch, a guy who is a fascist and a Nazi sympathizer. And was to such a degree that Warhammer sent him a cease and desist. Like, they're in that circle.
Musical melodies.
Oh yeah, it's very
Colours.
involved. Like the amount of math that is involved in like good harmonious music. It's pretty.
Basically everything, right? And so that's why they have to go directly against truth, against reality. They have to make everything look hideous because to them, everything bad is good and everything good is bad.
It seems like that's...
Yeah, because truth could never be ugly. Could never be... The truth could never be bad.
where they're trying to push things. And this type of, like this right here, seems like, yeah, they're affronted and offended by traditional beauty, traditional femininity. And like what they made this character look like now, it looks like, who's the male guy in the X-Files? Mulder?
Mulder?
Yeah.
I see a young version of Bogdan from Breaking Bad.
Do you?
Those eyebrows.
It's just another example, but this isn't the only remade character for modern audience in Silent Hill. This is the other one. So there was a character that's specifically made to be sexually alluring, and this was the change. And this is weird. There's some layers of weirdness to me. Okay, this character is still in the game as a type of sexually alluring character. They have both removed some of the sexually alluring aspects, there's no bare midriff anymore, while also knowing that it's supposed to be sexually alluring and making her look like she's 13. That is weird.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Does this remake not look younger to you?
Yeah, you're right, because just my artist's eye is seeing the proportion of hair.
Also, okay. Does anyone... I've been kind of dancing around this the entire time, but does anyone mind if I spoil an aspect of Silent Hill 2 for you guys? Does anyone mind? Okay. So, you know, the character that they've been complaining about for the longest part of the runtime of this video? You know that character they've been saying, in the remake, she looks like a man. Look at how beautiful she was in the original. Oh my goodness. You see, Angela used to be so hot, and now she's been turned into a lady. Or, sorry, a trans lady. Now, do you happen to know why her character design is this? You might look at this character design and say, wow, that's not particularly sexually alluring. Well, spoiler alert, and also big ol' content warning here. One of the reasons that is revealed in Silent Hill 2 about why she dresses this way is literally because she was sexually assaulted as a child and has grown up to want to be more closed off to the world and not to be sexualized. That's quite literally one of the points of her character. She dresses that way on purpose. She presents herself this way on purpose. It's core to the text of the game. And like, these guys, because they don't know anything about what they're talking about, are literally being like, well, she looks too much like a man because she's not dressed sexy enough. Like, they're complaining about deliberate design choices meant to convey her status as a sexual assault survivor. Like, that's... Yeah, it's been really hard to listen to throughout this video. Like, it's it's not a subtle or easy to miss portion of the game. If you've played it, you know exactly what happened here. Yeah, it kind of makes them look like they're creepy and gross, doesn't it? Huh. Weird. Silent Hill is like a purgatory for hurt people. In the best games, that is. It is explicit. Yes, Elenita Express. It's explicit. You can't really miss it. You can't really misinterpret it.
Head to shoulders and then head to body. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Look, this is the only example. They made Poison Ivy, the character that was supposed to, like, traditionally always seen as a character to be sexually desired. They made her into a child in Suicide Squad. It's really weird.
That's only really weird if you still are sexualizing her as a child. Like, you're the one making it weird.
It's really weird. Right? And at the same time, making her also look more ugly as well. Like this other one, she has a more feminine kind of neckline, jawline stuff.
Yeah.
These insane woke progressive people, it sounds like the game devs were just listening to those consulting companies. Wouldn't be surprised if it was Sweet Baby Inc., but they're just trying to rename, and there's heaps of companies out there.
Yeah. Why won't this character look sexy enough for me anymore? She's so sexy. Why aren't they making this character sexy enough anymore? I just don't understand. Why is this new character that they're going to update in the next game not making my pee-pee hard? I can't place it.
Doing this.
This is why I don't care what they call me. Because anything they say is bad has to be good. Anything. Except for murder.
Yeah, like, you know what was really hot? It was really hot with, their one of their hot characters in Silent Hill 2 was really sad and, like, considering Roblox, like that. Oh man, why isn't that character sexy anymore? It's just not doing it for me. Maybe know what the fuck you're talking about before you enter into the arena of, like, talking about this with any air of authority, man. Maybe it's a game where the characters aren't really supposed to be sexy, because it's not that kind of game. If you want to do that, just turn off the filter for adult material on Steam. Go nuts, okay?
Or theft, or any of the things that we said were bad first.
I think you shouldn't care what they say because they have no standards, but they legitimately want...
Well, again, Mr. Miyagi, my interpretation here is that they have no idea what they're talking about, so they literally aren't aware that that portion of the game exists. Because both of them have talked about never having played the original game before.
That's their tactic. They want to vilify people and make their opposition appear to be evil people because they can't argue on the merits, and so if they can just...
You can't argue on the merits either. You haven't played the fucking game, man.
Discredit and vilify the opposition. It's like, you don't want to join that side. That's the bad people's side. That's how they get people onto their side, because people, they want to be good. And if you're telling me I'll be bad if I listen to those people, that's why I think we should still forever reject their attempt to try and vilify us. Because we're not the villains, Oz.
But every day I get reports from my missus. She's coming home and telling me, I heard this and this and this today. More people are just saying things I've been saying for years. Like,
yeah, but that should be the validation that you were not a villain. You're not crazy.
Oh, I'm
You're
crazy.
Still, no, sorry,
I'm
you
crazy.
are crazy. That's going way too far.
But I'm not a crazy villain.
How could I even utter those words?
I'm the mad scientist who's on the side of good. I am crazy.
But I strongly believe never concede them any moral authority.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's because if I defend myself from what they say,
But then that's
I'm
why I
doing
mean.
that.
Never concede to them any moral authority. Make sure they are in the content mines making big titty ladies for you to jack off to.
But that's what, like, accepting the names that they call you. that to me is conceding moral authority.
No,
And I say
because
don't give it.
But if I defend myself from them, that's me saying that I think the things they're calling me are really bad. I must defend myself. But if I'm like,
But it is bad to be a racist, and if people call you that, you
what's
say,
their definition of racism?
Well, that's when you call them out on hypocrisy. But we're getting a bit off topic. Going back to
Man, it's incredible how they turned complaining about ladies not being hot enough in a game neither of them have played into a conversation about how too many people are being mean and calling them racists. That's actually kind of incredible. I'm impressed by that. That took some doing. That was like watching an Olympic gymnast, you know? He is so, of course he's racist. Yeah. Like, he revels in it, man, but like, it was wild seeing them get from point A to point B on that one.
Silent Hill remake, clearly driven by activism, and when you see warning signs like this, all you need to see is just how are they making the females look. That's all you don't need, like, I'm glad Sweet Baby Ink Detected exists. You don't actually need it. All you need is your own eyes.
Yeah. And then there's the orgy scene.
Yeah, you know, this character was really sexy. You know, when we saw this character in the original Silent Hill 2, really just got us going. You know, nothing quite as sexy as a lady in an outfit that looks like it's the most boring one from the 1930s. Yep.
Well, there are a whole heap of other points of evidence, and the answer is they do not deserve your money. It's made by people who hate you. They want to serve their audience, which is not the true modern audience.
It seems to be the dark powers of Satan that they're trying to serve.
So, just to clarify, neither of them have played the original, but this guy's opinion at the end of the video is, I think maybe these companies are serving the dark powers of Satan by selling this product. Then why are you talking about how it's such a huge problem that the characters aren't sexy enough? Like, if it's already, like, satanic, why are you upset that it's not sexy enough and satanic? Like, what? What's your deal, man? This is so silly. This is so much sillier than I thought it was gonna be. God damn it.
Don't get me started on that side. Don't give them the money. They don't deserve it. Stay on watch.
It's the powers of Satan, says man with complete certainty while sitting in front of a wall of books about occult magic rituals and spells and creatures. Like, are you kidding me? You're sitting in front of a wall of books about doing magic, a thing explicitly forbidden mankind by God in your religion. Dude. Hypocrites, man. Get good sleep, Radical Maniac. Thank you so much for the raid. Anyway, we still have 15 seconds of this, and it's probably going to make me mad. That was the best, 3 seconds of this video I've ever seen. Excellent. whew, he's like an entirely new type of pathetic character. Yeah, it's you know, it's a real. I don't know. I don't even really know how to describe Night's Watch. It's just insane to me that one of the biggest medieval weaponry channels on YouTube is run by this guy. And he's so unintelligent. It's quite sad.